Today on Crain and Company, we are breaking down the ugliest coaching breakups of all time. And yes, we were inspired by Benedict Schlossnagle, Texas A&M.
The Schlossnagle.
Next on Crain and Company. Now, obviously, a lot of the way that coaches have handled their departures, whether they're going to a new league, maybe it's the same league at a different school, maybe it's the same league in a rival school. There's been some bad ones. There's been some ugly breakups, I guess is the best way to put it. Got former Michigan quarterback David Cohn here. My brother, former Western State, Colorado wide receiver Blaine Crain here. So we thought in honor of Jim Schlossnagle, which is where I'm going to start with, absolutely admonishing a reporter for asking if he was going to be taking the Texas job, literally within days after losing Game 3 of the College World Series final, and telling him it was a selfish question and that he left his family to coach at Texas A&M and he took the Texas A&M job to not take any other job. In my opinion, this is probably, and we've got some others we're going to bring up. We thought we would list the ugliest breakups between coaches and places where they were at, whether they lied or kind of how it went down or how they lied. And even though it's the most recent one, I don't think it's recency bias to say this Jim Schlossnagle one's as bad as I've ever seen. As bad as I've ever seen. And we'll play the video of what he said to reporter Richard Zane from Texas, who we had on this show. Quickly, let's play it so you can see it.
Coach, with respect to the difficult outcome tonight, but with the rumors circulating today about a specific job opening, what do you have to say about your future in Aggie land?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. But I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again, and that hasn't changed in my mind. And that's unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft. But I understand you got to ask the question, but I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it. So write that.
Coach, thank you very much.
Then he storms off. You know what? If you would have stayed at Texas A&M, and even Richard Zane, the reporter, said, look, he's a coach that was emotional after, probably the toughest loss of his career. But it's a question I had to ask. I don't think the reporter's wrong for asking it. I don't think if he answered it that way and then stayed, that would have been the wrong way to answer it. But the fact that you left, and as quick as you left, to not only go somewhere else, but to go to the rival of Texas A&M, Texas, I don't know how you could have handled that any worse. I just don't think it's possible. When I think about it, and we're going to go through this list of coaches and departures and what they've said, that to me is the worst that I've seen, David.
Can we just commend for a second Richard Zane for the way he handled his business?
Yeah.
He came on our show the next day and was talking about it and said, I was just a reporter doing my job. I'm unemotional about this. I had to ask this question. And even when asked, hey, what'd you think about the coach apologizing to you later after he went to do his press conference at Texas? He said, I'm not owed an apology. Again, I was just doing my job and I don't feel bad for it.
Yeah, well, you know what I don't apologize for, regardless, is having the best meat to throw on the grill. 100% American meat for uniquely 100% American holiday, which is July 4th, baby.
Yes.
All right, so celebrate the sweet taste of freedom with savory meats conveniently delivered right to your door, all born, raised, and made in the good old USA, whether it's the backyard barbecue, maybe a poolside party. Heck, maybe you're by the coast. Maybe it's a beach bonfire. Good Ranchers has you covered, regardless of what you like. Beef, chicken, pork, wild-caught seafood. If you use our code BOOSTER at checkout, you get $100 off. And drum roll. Give me a drum roll on it, Blaine. Give me a little drum roll here. Use that code BOOSTER, get $100 off, and free smoked brats for a year. That's right. Ta-ding! Free smoked brats for a year on top of $100 off. When you use our code BOOSTER at checkout, you get that $100 off and those free smoked brats. So head on over, all right, to goodranchers.com. Use that promo code BOOSTER this holiday. It's more than just a great deal. It's a chance to celebrate America by supporting American family farms and enjoying the highest quality American meat. Like I said, Head over to GoodRanchers.com, subscribe to any of their custom curated boxes filled with 100% beef, chicken, pork, wild-caught seafood, and use our code BOOSTER at checkout. Get that $100 off and those free smoked brats.
Woo, man, do that now.
Do it now.
Do it.
Delicious.
Still time.
Still time.
Do it. All right, boys, the worst one that I can remember, and I have a little bit of a personal connection to this one. I mean, Bobby Petrino at Louisville was recruiting me. I went to camp there in 2005 in the summertime, right before my senior year of high school started. I remember my dad hearing rumors that Bobby Petrino, who just had the #1 offense in the country, was thinking about taking the step to the NFL. So he asked him point blank when I was at camp, are you going to be the head coach at Louisville? And he said, hey, I'm here. I'm here to stay. Coach, right? Coach answered. On July 13th, 2006, so this would have been right before I start my freshman year, ended up going to Michigan, Petrino signed a 10-year, $25 million deal to stay the head football coach. The deal gave him a raise. The contract included a buyout clause of $1 million. So on January 7th, 2007, less than 6 months after signing the 10-year contract above, it was announced Petrino had accepted the head coaching position of the NFL's Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
Hey, coaches get out of contracts all the time. This is where it really gets interesting. That Falcons contract was for 5 years, $24 million. In the case of exceptionally bad timing here, Michael Vick, he was brought in to develop Michael Vick with the Falcons, right? Vick being known for his ability to run all that kind of stuff, we know. The terms of Vick's bail when he got into the dogfighting incident barred him from having anything to do with the team or the practice or anything. All this was happening right when Bobby Petrino's the head coach. Yep. And the Falcons had just traded Michael Vick's backup, Matt Schwab. Do you remember this? Yep. Yeah. When all this happened? To the Texans. So Petrino was forced to begin the season with the Falcons with Joey Harrington, Byron Leftwich, Chris Redmond, who's also a great guy. With their franchise quarterback effectively sidelined for the seasons, the Falcons appeared rudderless, went 3-10 in the NFC South. Bobby Petrino resigned to become the head coach at Arkansas less than 24 hours after personally promising Arthur Blank that he would be staying in Atlanta. Petrino informed his players of the departure via a 4-sentence laminated note that he left in the locker of each player. Do you remember hearing this story? Yeah. A move that many in the organization just harshly criticized. Even before resigning, Petrino had, ruffled some feathers with Falcons players, like not even speaking to players when he walked through the building.
Yeah, well, and again, we've seen college coaches go to the NFL. It's a totally different thing with the way you treat the players. Hell, they're making more money than you. I mean, we'll see what happens with NIL now if that changes in the college game. But yeah, I can understand Petrino being upset of the way it went down at the quarterback position, right? Because you thought it was going to be one thing. You had this, Weapon X and Michael Vick, and it doesn't turn into that. And then the backup wasn't there, and it turns it into a disaster. But why not just be honest with Arthur Blank? Just be like, hey, man, this didn't work out. I got told this. It's not how it happened. I'm going back to college and going back to Arkansas. Bad look, though. Bad look.
I mean, if we're speaking about honesty, guys, look, I'm not going to be the next head coach at Alabama.
Yeah, this is a big one.
All right? I'm not going to be that. I believe this 2005, Nick Saban been to LSU for 5 years. And he got up, I believe we have a video for this, got up on the post-game conference.
You talking about he's at the Dolphins now, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had been at LSU and then went to...
Yeah, he had already left LSU to be the Miami
Dolphins. Yeah, he's been at LSU, for 5 he was at 5 years, and he got lured away to the NFL. Now he's at the Dolphins, and this was his interview after.
I'm not going to be the Alabama coach. What? I shouldn't even have to comment on this. I think I've said this over and over and over again.
So how long after was it? How long after that was he named the Alabama coach?
Oh, God.
It was pretty quickly, right? Because they struck out on Rich Rod.
Yeah.
And
you know all about that, Dad.
He came to Michigan.
I know. Another personal one for you.
God.
Yeah, that one, that one's just so, in your face. Like, you said, just don't even ask me about it. Like, that wasn't as bad as the Schlossnagle one. Right?
No.
And to me, it's just not going from the Dolphins to LSU or even the Falcons to Arkansas. Yeah, it sucks. Like, you lied about it. God, Schlossnagle went from Texas A&M to Texas, dude. And you lied about that one. But we're going to talk about staying in the same conference. Maybe not rivals, but in the same conference. Tommy Tuberville. Remember this?
Tommy T.
Ole Miss head coach.
Oh, Ole Miss to Auburn.
Only way I'm leaving Ole Miss is in a pine box, which is a Southern way to say unless they're going to drag my dead-ass body out of here in a coffin. All right? What does he end up doing? Not even that much longer later, takes the Auburn job. Ends up having a lot of success at Auburn.
Yeah.
Right? But when you look at all those, I still feel like, and the Tommy Tuberville one, I can't remember video-wise if there was video of it or it was just, this is what he said and then got reported. There's video of the Nick Saban one, right? The Petrino one, he just left the laminated notes and went out E5. But like the Schlossnagle one and the Nick Saban one, just because I think there's video and it's so...
And Nick Saban won 7 national championships.
Yeah.
And Schlossnagle pulled out the heartstrings.
Yeah.
Like you pulled out the heart of A&M.
Saban just said, don't ask me about that. I'm not...
Saban was just Saban. He's like, no, this is stupid. Why would you even ask me that?
Yeah.
I do think maybe we have another one. Y'all know Steve Sarkisian at Washington?
Before he took the USC job?
Before he took the USC job, remember what he said?
What was that one again?
I'm not going anywhere. We're building something special here.
Something special here.
We're building something special here, guys. I think 2 months later. Bye-bye.
It's 2 months?
Oh, wait, it wasn't it wasn't as special.
I mean, some of them, that's too, first of all, you have to say that all the time, right?
Well, now,
you have to say, I'm building something special, and then 2 months is a long time.
If you sit here and say, listen, I'm not even going to comment on that, people are like, oh, see? He's going.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to be there. So it's like a tough spot. Like, to me, I would, like my dogs have selective hearing. Like, when they know I'm going to have to when Manny knows I'm going to have to put him in the kennel because I'm going to leave and I know he's going to chew on the couch, I'll be like, Manny. And he'll just, pretend not to hear, like he's deaf. But any other time I say his name, when he doesn't think he's going to the kennel, he just magically can hear me. I would just have selective hearing. If I was Schlossnagle, I just would have looked at Richard Zane and like,
handle that terrible. John Calipari, Memphis.
when
Memphis landed at the airport at Sweet 16, lost in 2009. John Calipari got asked the question of being at Memphis. I want to be here. This is where I want to coach. 3 days later, he took the Kentucky job.
That's not even his most bizarre exit to me.
No, yeah.
This one going to Arkansas, I'm scratching my head here.
For sure. No, that one was wild just because you were actually leaving. Not that Arkansas, it's a great place to coach college basketball, but you were leaving one of the meccas of college basketball. But look, sometimes, you got to prioritize what's best for you, like your health, all right? Especially if you're not sure where to start. However, it's not just about making a decision, it's about making a commitment to a better quality of life. That's why we love our Lumen, baby. What is Lumen? Blaine asks ominously.
What is Lumen?
Well, Blaine, what an ominous way to ask that. It's the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath. All you have to do is breathe into your Lumen. Just breathe into it. All right? First thing in the morning, and you'll know what's going on with your metabolism, whether you're burning mostly fats or carbs. It's a cheat code to find out if what you're doing is working or not. Right? People say, oh, I can't lose weight because I don't know. Oh, is it working or not? This is a cheat sheet for you. All right? With Lumen, you're not just getting a device. You're getting a health companion. Breathe into it before and after workouts and meals and get real-time insights in your body's metabolic response. So if you want to take that next step in improving your health, go to lumen.me/booster to get 15% off your Lumen. That's lumen.me/booster at checkout for 15% off. Appreciate you, everybody at Lumen, for sponsoring this episode. Fantastic product. Helps you lose weight faster.
So I have a question on this. Sorry, I got my Lumen here.
Hey, just breathe into it, then look me in the eyes.
On the Bobby Petrino one, because we were talking about this week in terms of him now being the offensive coordinator again at Arkansas. So you're at Louisville. You leave after signing the 10-year contract to go to the Falcons. You don't even last the year there. You're giving players laminated cards. Go to Arkansas. We know what happened with him at Arkansas. Second stint then, right, at Louisville. I'm here for the long haul. Now he's back as the offensive coordinator at Arkansas. We talked about Sam Pittman possibly being on the hot seat. I know we had this conversation a week ago, but is there any, what are the odds that he's the next head coach at Arkansas?
It's the first time I've ever seen somebody get fired in the way that Bobby Petrino was fired at a place and then get hired back at that place. Not get hired again, right? We've seen guys, saw Hugh Freeze, what happened at Ole Miss, had to work his way back, went to Liberty, went to here, went to there, and now he ends up going back at Auburn. Steve Sarkisian, same thing, right? Has an addiction problem, turns around, goes to be an analyst at Bama, goes to another place. This is like at the scene of the crime. This is like the person returning to the scene of the crime, and the person who they committed the crime gets to be like, hey, no, come on back. It's okay. I actually think there's a decent shot. If they're really good on offense, right, and the defense is just bad and they go 6-6, I think there's a chance Bobby Petrino gets the job. I don't think they would have hired him as the offensive coordinator if they didn't want to at least open up a little bit of leeway to him possibly getting the job. Because at the end of the day, it's about winning. It's about winning. Like, you say what you want about, oh, you want to be a good person, and that's great. I want you to be a good person. Being a great person and winning, that's amazing. I wish it always worked out like that. But it's not always how it works out. So I think there's a chance Bobby Petrino ends up being the next head coach at Arkansas.
You don't see it that way, huh?
Well, look, I know Bobby Petrino is a phenomenal coach from a quarterback standpoint. I mean, the guy's an absolute guru. But it comes down to, do you think Arkansas will trust Bobby Petrino to be the head coach?
I
just don't think you let him back on campus at all.
I feel like he can be managed when it comes to a coordinator. Like, it's hard to be managed when it comes to a head coach.
But would you say the offensive coordinator is like the vice president of the team? Like the head coach is the president, the offensive coordinator and the defense coordinator, like the vice presidents. So if you didn't want somebody to become president again, why would you bring them on to be the vice president, where the next most important job right next on the ladder is the president?
I think people make bad decisions by vice president when you watch a debate.
I don't think you're wrong on that.
Can't argue that one. What about Urban Meyer? A little bit different than the ones we've been talking about, but still some bizarre exits from programs.
For sure.
Talk about leaving Florida, what possible heart issue, maybe not.
Well, Billy Napier struggles again. I think Florida, I don't think Scott Strickland be crazy to call Urban Meyer. Say, all right, fix it. Fix it. We want to win again. I'm sick of not winning. I'm watching Florida State going undefeated. Oh, Miami has Cam Ward. UCF's in the Big 12. Hell, Golich is balling at USF. Got to win again, man. This is Florida. Like, I know we signed that 7'9" dude in basketball, but this ain't basketball. We got to win at Florida. So, again, you're a winner, you got a chance. Like, you can be as much as a prick or a bad person or whatever, but, like, if you're winning, you're getting results. You know, they got no problem sweeping under the rug. But you know who doesn't sweep anything under the rug, David? The IRS.
The broom. Oh.
The broom.
The broom gets it in the pan.
You're right, yeah.
You are right, David. You answered all those questions.
IRS.
So good. The IRS. If you're struggling with back taxes or unfiled returns, our friends at Tax Network USA, let them come over there and be your offensive line. All right? They're going to protect. The IRS is escalating collections, adding 20,000 new agents. That's the blitz. Here comes the blitz. We got to change the protection. Hey, check Tax Network USA.
7.
Tax Network USA. Because handling this alone, you're not outrunning that. You're sacked like a sack of potatoes, man, and it can cost you thousands of dollars. All right, so your best protection is with Tax Network USA. They got over 14 years of experience, y'all. All right, they saved clients millions in back taxes, regardless of the size of your tax issue. Size doesn't matter, right? It's just if we're making the right plays or not. All right, so you sign up, Tax Network USA. They call the IRS, get that protection order. All right, that halts all property seizures, levies, garnishments, all that stuff, which gives you a peace of mind, which makes this a piece of cake. And for a complimentary consultation, you call them today at 1-800-245-6000, or you visit their cool website on the internets at tnusa.com/booster. That's 1-800-245-6000, or visit tnusa.com/booster today. Don't let the IRS take advantage of you. Take advantage of them with Tax Network USA. Who's going to be the next coach that you guys think will have a bad exit? There's a couple out there, and that's not necessarily saying you get fired because you got caught on a motorcycle.
Billy Napier.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Billy would like. I think they
fired. That
fire
doesn't count.
I mean,
how ugly it is.
To me, I'm looking around. I don't know. You got a couple places. Dabo Sweeney seems interesting to me at Clemson, but I don't know if that would just be a mutual parting of the ways. You know who? I tell you what. I'm gonna tell you who it is, David. You want to know who it is?
Talk to me, son.
It's gonna be Ryan Day. Because he's gonna beat Michigan and he's gonna leave Ohio State.
Is he gonna fight Lou Holtz on his way out?
God, America hopes. And we hope. And you're having a great July 4th week.